Hey, coffee cuties, we are back with another banger. And today we are back with another reaction video where I give my raw and unfiltered opinion about viral topics, typically surrounding curly natural hair. But today is going to be a little bit different, but it is still Black woman adjacent as we are covering a creator with curly natural hair who was attempting to go after the Guinness World Record for the biggest afro. But unfortunately, she was sabotaged, in my personal opinion, from her hairstylist. So let's just get right into the story. But first, I definitely want to thank my subscribers for sending me this through my Instagram, as well as African Hair Guy for covering the topic. I'm going to leave his video linked down below and watch it right after this one to see what he has to say from his professional perspective. But first, let's get into the story. So I'm going to first insert the article that is covering your girl's attempt to go after this record after going viral on TikTok. So as you can see, it says New York City woman aims to break Guinness World Record with insane afro, bigger and better. So this is definitely great if you're able to grow your hair out and break down barriers and really represent natural hair, whether it's curly or coily. It is definitely a win for the community. So basically, it says the idea was first sparked after an Instagram video with her hair picked out went viral, drawing more than 45 million views. Comments flooded her, urging her to basically go after the record. And for hair care tips, and your girl also has an ebook. So if you have her hair type or similar to, or you feel like you can learn hair tips from her, definitely be sure to check that out, as I'm going to have her page linked down below. But as you can see, it's just talking about the beautiful article, and it just talked about how it just really gave her inspiration to go after goals, go after bigger and better things for herself, which is an amazing story. So I definitely wanted to cover that first, but unfortunately, this is not where the story ends. I wish it was, but after I was sent that portion of the story, then I was also sent the other portion of the story that looks like your girl unfortunately suffered from a very bad trim. I feel like it's personally a haircut, but I'm going to play it now. It's going to be on mute because it does have music, but you will be able to see the before and after. So I'm going to let it go ahead and play a few times just so you can see if you missed it, if it was going a little too fast. So let's go ahead and see that before once again. As you can see, her hair was very long. It appeared to be healthy. Of course, I'm not a professional, so I cannot see all the way through, but that is very unfortunate. And it could not have been at a worse time where she's literally trying to go after a record. And this is the result after getting a trim from a professional. And this is clearly not what she wanted, because as you can see in a second, she's going to give a story time as well as her caption saying big miscommunication. And it also says when you ask for a trim, but the stylist didn't understand the assignment. That again is so unfortunate. And it just adds insult to injury when you're actually doing things with your hair, in her case to break records. But she's also a natural hair influencer, so she gets paid to take care of her hair. Again, I don't know the overall health of her hair from the beginning. I will hope that the stylist was not jealous, but unfortunately, we do know that that exists. And maybe her hair, she was prioritizing the length over the health, and maybe she needed this haircut. I'm not sure. But even if you feel like, as a professional, that the person in your chair may need a trim, let's say you feel like they should cut off 5 inches, but they only want to cut out two. At the end of the day, I do feel like you have to, of course, you'll tell the client about the possible risk of not cutting it off, such as the split traveling up the hair shaft, but ultimately it is up to the client. Let me know down below if you agree or disagree with that. But a few comments here. It says, I feel like stylists who do that be hating for real. Then someone else said, my grandma always said, don't let them cut your hair if it's their hair, if their hair is shorter than yours. Leave down below if you ever heard that. I definitely had not only cut hair, they be like, don't even go to stylists that hair is shorter than yours. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I just feel like you definitely have to vet your stylist and see if they have the proper knowledge to deal with your curly hair if you're in the type 3 category and family, or your coily hair in our case. Be sure to do your research and make sure they know what they're doing before you trust them with your hair care in general, and definitely a trim. So next it says jealousy, her hair is still beautiful, but she was jealous. So yes, like I said before, jealousy definitely exists when it comes to hair. So this very well could have been a case. I'm not sure if the stylist was aware of this creator, aware of her goals. I don't know what's going on here, but just at face value, that is definitely the assumption you will make, especially because her hair does not appear to have needed that big of a trim. But leave down below what you think as we move on to the next video, where the creator is actually going to be given a little bit of backstory, talking about what happened from her perspective. So let's go ahead and play this and see if anything changes in our minds about what is going on. So let me go ahead and play here.
My haircut. Okay, I asked for a trim. Still smells like me. Oh my gosh, there's a little piece in there. I asked for a trim, guys, and unfortunately, that's not what happened. There was a miscommunication between myself and the hairstylist on the type of trim and cut that I wanted. I wanted to shape it, and Jesus. I do not know how this got lost in translation. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I'm at the space right now where I can talk about it without crying, which is a big deal. I have been having a hard time sleeping. I've been having a hard time just like processing this whole thing. As many of you guys know, I'm going after the Guinness Book of World Records for the world's largest afro. And the reason I wanted to get my hair trimmed is so that it would look pretty. And I just thought I was doing the right thing to really just shape up the hair and make it look nice. And, we went through the whole process. We had a phone call. We made it clear that we weren't doing the whole let's get a whole thing healthy. We were just going to be taking about 2 inches off, and that I could come back in about a month or so, 2 months after I finish the project that I'm working on, that I could come back and get the rest of the hair that needed to come off, because my hair is shattered and split and dead and whatnot. And that is what I was under the impression of when we started, and somehow, some way, this is how we ended. And yes, the timing of this is unfortunate. No, I'm not going to let this stop me from continuing to pursue the things that I want to pursue. My identity is not tied in my hair. The timing of this is unfortunate. I offer so much more to this world, and that's great. Everyone who knows me in real life knows that. CEO and founder of an e-commerce business. I'm an auntie of amazing nieces and nephews. I make all types of content. I'm a follower of Christ. I mean, the list goes on. I like to volunteer my time. I enjoy servicing the community. I've always worked in the nonprofit space. I'm a giver, and that's not going to change, right? And so it's okay. But I also know that in this moment, this is other people's experiences, and this is not okay, because this could be somebody's 13th reason. This can be somebody's reason for crashing out. My hair shrunken, my braids shrunken. Where sit right here. This is way more than 2 inches. This is more than 3 inches. This is more than 4 inches. It's 6 inches of shrunken hair gone. And it went very, very fast. The person that cut my hair, Diane DaCosta, very educated, very knowledgeable, very kind, beautiful soul. And I do believe that she knows a lot about hair. And, there are things that I could have done better, right? I could have asked more questions. I thought that I did. We did phone call. I sent pictures. We did an hour and a half consultation. And I really, really thought we were on the same page. I felt very comfortable. I got a lot of recommendations from people around, people that would be able to give me what I was looking for in preparation for this. I ultimately went with someone that I've met before, and someone who I've heard speak very, very well about hair. And even then, we still had this situation happen. And as a community, I just think we need to do better. I came to the salon with my hair wet. I had was told to come with it shampooed and detangled with nothing in it, and that's what I did. And sorry about that. That's the radiator, New York City. And so, if someone comes into your salon and their hair is wet and you do the consultation, you can say, okay, like we need to dry this before we cut it, especially because of what you're doing. We could have easily did that, boom, boom, boom. If, oh, I should have came with my hair in afro, we could have put it in the afro. Would have took 20 minutes. I was at the salon all day. We could, like, there's just so many things we could have done to prevent this from happening. And so I really want to encourage hairstylists to slow down. I want to encourage people to ask more questions, both sides, what you need, the type of learner you are. If you're a visual learner, you need to speak up and say that, because no one's going to just assume that they that that's what you are. They're going to need you to inform them of that information. And I mean, there's the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Am I gonna let this stop me from pursuing everything that God's called me to do? No, I'm not. My identity is not tied in my hair. I have so much to offer the world. And what I'm learning from this is that we cannot assume that people understand us. And you know this is just part of the testimony. It's part of the thing that's going to help carry me to move forward. I'm not going to give up on my dreams, and neither should you. You should continue to pursue and try to do very hard things. Get yourself out of your comfort zone. I really, really have been getting out of my comfort zone consistently for a while. But this was something out of my comfort zone. Going for Guinness, out of my comfort zone. Going to the salon and letting someone touch my hair, out of my comfort zone. And sometimes when you get out of your comfort zone, that comes with risks. This obviously is one of those situations where the repercussions are big. They're big, right? And so I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm not going to let it deter me, but I do want to start having the conversation that we need to have to avoid situations like this moving forward, because this is not a trim. This is not what I asked for. I know everyone can agree that this is not what I asked for. And, if I didn't do something right, then okay, I'm willing to learn. But I also think there just needs to be two-way accountability in these situations, because we can't just do whatever we want. And if we agree upon something, we need to stick to it. This is the hardest thing I think I've gone through in a very long time. My feelings are hurt. Um, I feel a little disrespected. I feel like I've been robbed. There's so many. I feel guilty. I feel a little stupid. I feel a little dumb. I should have known better. It's my job to protect my crown, and I didn't. And all of the other emotions. And so I haven't quite gotten to the acceptance stage yet, but that's okay. I know that it's coming. And yeah, God is good, and He works all things out for my good. And we know that's true, okay? Because He don't call me Just the Blessed for no reason. And Just the Blessed has nothing to do with the hair. And so I just know for a fact that this will work out. And I just pray that my heart is not hardened. That is all. That's my only prayer in this moment. And I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Please try not to stress. I actually am pretty stressed, and it's okay to admit that. But you stay blessed, and you do not stress. Okay, love you. Bye. I owe you an update on my.
Alrighty, so that was an 8-minute video. I guess I didn't really look at the time step, so I hope you all are still with me. But what are your thoughts about what your girl had to say? Let's read a few comments. So it said, "This was not your fault. That stylist just didn't listen to anything you said or showed her." Then someone else said, "I understand you. Don't let the stylist say that it was your fault. A trim is a trim and a cut is a cut. Remember, I told you I had something similar happen to me." So, yes, I do want to say this is far too common, unfortunately. That's why I am glad that we are having this conversation so that we can have open dialogue between the customer and the stylist, so we can have a clear dialogue and conversation about what is expected when it comes to a trim versus what is expected when it comes to a haircut. Now, I do understand that there are a lot of stylists that do prioritize the health of your hair over the length, over anything else, which is fine because that's personally my motto as well. But I do know that Black women, when it comes to getting trims and haircuts, there is a lot of just anxiety surrounding it. That's why you should advocate for, if this hair is damaged, it should go. But ultimately, you should listen to the customer and y'all try to come up with a solution that makes both of y'all comfortable. Like she stated, she wanted 2 inches off, and then after she went after the Guinness World Record, she would go ahead and cut off the rest of the damaged hair. But it seems like the stylist, which I'm not familiar with her, I'm not sure if she made any type of video in response. If she did, we definitely will cover her response and give her the opportunity to share her side of the story as well. Because again, I don't want a one sided conversation when there are two people involved. And I really want to understand the perspective of both. But when it comes to her, first of all, talking about her relationship with God and being blessed, that was a beautiful message for sure. In just the blessed, your girl definitely is blessed because she is going super viral. I was not aware of her whatsoever, this story at all, prior to this happening. So maybe it is a blessing in disguise that hopefully your girl will be able to really see clearly one day, as she is admitting that she is still currently stressing, grieving, all of the above. So for the people to just say, oh, it's just hair, to some it may just be hair, but to other people they really put a lot of care, a lot of hours, a lot of compassion into their hair, and they deserve to be able to celebrate their hair and express their hair the way that they want to do that. So it is definitely more than just hair. But also, she did kind of, just to reiterate, touch on the fact that admittedly her hair was damaged and she did plan to take care of it later. So that kind of did answer my initial questions. Like, though her hair did not appear damaged in some of the videos, even she admits that there was some damage there. So that is what the stylist was attempting to attack and basically make healthier. I'm not sure if the stylist knew her goals as far as the Guinness World Record. I think she did say that she told her she'll come back. So I do think the stylist was somewhat aware. Again, it's all about communication. And if you're a stylist and you feel like, no, I prioritize healthy hair and that's just what it is, that is your prerogative as well. But if you're not able to perform the service that the customer is wanting, just allow that customer to go somewhere else and be serviced and not put your work at jeopardy. But again, personally, I wouldn't have been offended by this because I do prioritize the health over the length, but I know everybody is different when it comes to that, when it comes to their own hair, all of the above. So again, I also think I do want to address before we move on to the final video, when she talked about how she was supposed to come into the salon with her hair wet. And I don't know, that just kind of seems like a red flag. Like, if you naturally, I guess, woke up and wet your hair, that's one thing. But to make that a standard, like, okay, come in with hair wet, I'm not sure what that's about. I feel like if you're getting your hair done, shouldn't you get the shampoo and the conditioner, if you pay, I guess, for a deep conditioner and all that, especially if you're getting a trim? It seems like the stylist will want to detangle properly and all of that, versus just kind of trusting that the person who's coming in, the consumer, the customer, knows how to detangle properly, knows how to wash properly. I don't know. I just wouldn't trust that as a professional myself. But leave down below, do I got that right or wrong? But overall, it is great that your girl is going to keep going and try to see the blessing with all of this. Again, I can already name one, and that is, I didn't know who your girl was, but now she is definitely getting a lot of recognition for this story. And it, once again, is opening up that dialogue between the customer and the stylist, so we can prevent things like this within our community. Because again, there is so much anxiety with a lot of Black women when it comes to getting their hair cut. So hopefully, if we're having the conversations, unfortunately, this is a story that may deter some people. But if stylists are being open to the dialogue, maybe in the future we can bridge that gap and have the trust come back between the two. Because there is definitely benefits to a professional stylist who really cares about their craft and can give you a proper trim, not a cut, unless that's what you're wanting and that's what you all agreed upon. But we're going to go ahead and play the last video from the creator, where she kind of just really did the big reveal once again of her hair and kind of talked about the story. And we're going to sum it up here and then come back with some more commentary.
I'm going to see where my hair is sitting. My hair was cut on Sunday, and it is Thursday. I wasn't going to take it out until tomorrow because I have an event. But then I realized that I had an event tonight on Thursday. So I'm like, okay, just rip the band-aid off and take the braids out and see where you're at. So we are going to do that right now. I am trying not to panic. I'm sure that the hair is going to be cute either way. Are you ready? I'm not ready. Ready. Okay. Top is from Bless Your Closet. Jesus. I'm going to take some of my Kalahari lightweight oil. I did break the top. Silly me. So I'm just going to put some on my hands. It smells delicious. Okay. Oh my gosh. What? This is wild. We're not gonna cry. 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 Okay. We're not gonna cry. It's okay. Okay, guys. Okay. It's 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 okay. Okay. We're gonna put on our fragrance of the night, a little bit of Brown Girl Jane, Make Me Feel Better, gifted by Aviola Co, of course. Oh, whew. Okay. Moment of truth.
All righty. So that is your girl's response to the haircut. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and mute it and just kind of keep it plain. But I definitely want to say, first of all, again, I am so sorry that your girl had to go through that because I personally know how traumatic that can be. Yes, it was not through a cut, it was not due to a cut. But when I got heat damage like 6 years ago, that was so traumatic. I remember just constantly looking in the mirror, then not wanting to look in the mirror, just being pissed off because the heat damage was from a professional and not from me. So it's like I would rather deal with this if I did it myself versus a professional. I was since able to move on. My hair did grow back. I do go to a professional that I do trust. So all is well, but I can remember that feeling and her having her hair content surrounding her hair and literally making money off of her hair. I can only imagine that that will be so much worse. But I guess I will say that the good news is that her hair is now in a healthier state. So it should actually grow faster. I don't know if it'll grow in time for the Guinness World Record. I don't know when the deadline is or whatever. So unfortunately, she may have to lose out on that. But there's always next year. So I hope that she doesn't give up. And I just hope that she keeps moving forward and breaking down barriers and going after her goal because, again, she's very viral. I didn't know who she was prior to this. And unfortunately, like, let me know down below if you remember, but it almost seems like it is like some type of rite of passage for these influencers with natural hair, whether it's type 3 primarily, but even type 4, to go to the salon to get some type of trim and the stylist just jacks them up. I remember Jujubee, that probably was about 6 years ago now, but hers was actually cut I don't know the vision of the stylist whatsoever, but when she was pulling down pieces that was stopping at her collarbone, pieces in the middle of her head going down to her waist, her hair has since grown back as well. She's in a healthier state of her hair, and she is still beautiful and popular as well. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, and I hope that just the blessed will see that as well. But let's read a few comments. So it says, I'm so sorry this happened to you. The length loss is crazy. So yes, if you followed her before, leave down below, because I'm sure you definitely probably are in even more of a shock, similar to, like I said, how I was when I seen Juju B's story come out and she showed the before and after. That one was crazy too. But then she said, why are we crying? So I guess someone is not aware of what's going on. And then someone else said, I feel you, girl. Yes, we all feel you. Even though she does have curly natural hair, nevertheless, we all have natural hair. And unfortunately, we too many of us have experienced some type of traumatic event when it comes to our hair. That's why I am, once again, even though your girl had to go through this, I'm glad that it's opening up the dialogue and conversation between customers and stylists so we can come to a happy medium with all of this. Like I said before, some stylists do prioritize the health over the length, and it feels like that's what this stylist was attempting to do, because in fairness, the cut is not bad. Like Juju B's cut was terrible. So at least the stylist did seem like she knew what she was doing in that regard, but it was not what the customer wanted. And you definitely have to keep that in mind. And if that's not something as a stylist that you want to provide, it is okay to turn customers away as well and allow them to go where they can get whatever goal that they want to achieve. I also want to say that if you are, it sounds like she did everything that I would recommend. She was advocating for herself. She did the consultation. She came in as needed, what hair and all, even though that would be a red flag to me. But I don't know what she could have did differently. Do you literally gotta look at the mirror the whole, you gotta have them turn you around and look in the mirror and make sure they're not cutting off a lot of hair? I don't know what to do. Leave down below if you have any tips. Again, I'm going to watch African Hair Guy's video after this, so I'm going to leave it linked down below so you can get the professional perspective on this, because your girl is just lost. Like, what do you do if you did tell the stylist? And then in fairness, it doesn't seem like the stylist is incompetent, because she did cut off the damage and it was not a bad haircut at all. I definitely am curious to know the side of the stylist. I'm not sure if she came forward or will come forward. If you do know if she did, please leave it linked down below as well, because again, I want to give a fair and balanced assessment to it all. But just overall, my advice will be to continue to advocate for your hair. Like she said, advocate for your crown the best way you can. Do your research on these stylists, and just if you notice red flags, I don't personally feel like I should have to go to the salon with my hair already washed if I'm going in for a trim. I feel like that should be included. That's a red flag for me. Leave more red flags down below so that we can educate each other and put each other up on game so that we can get the best results possible when we are going to the salon. But this is the end of this video. So with that being said, a drum roll, please. At the time of this recording, we are 885 people away from the goal of 10K. And at 10K, we will definitely be doing a giveaway. So please leave some suggestions down below of what you would like to see for the 10K giveaway. I'm currently brainstorming. I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but I am definitely excited and thankful for the community that we have built over here. So I want it to be good. On the way out, check out the bio. Coffee Cutie mugs are on sale. Email me. You can email me, or you can hit me up on my Instagram too. Some people hit me up on Instagram. Whatever way you contact me, if you want me to cover a story, please do so. But this is the end of this video. So until next time, see ya.